Ladies and gentlemen and District 3 constituents, thank you for tuning into another episode of Local Love, brought to you by Emo Brown Media and Liquid Death. Murder your thirst. For everything you do, let's keep that beak wet. We're here with another edition of the Local Love. To my right, none other than the man, the myth, the legend, El Compa Esplurjo, Sergio Hernandez. That's right, gang. And on the couch today, ladies and gentlemen, we have District 3 City Council member Miguel, alias Michael Inzunza. That's right, everybody. We had him here before he was elected to the position. And now we have him in the role itself. Mr. Inzunza, felicidades.
Thank you.
And a couple of words on how everything has been.
Well, been really, really busy.
Yes, sir.
Learning a lot. And pretty proud of some of the things I've been implementing, policy changes, and really trying to hold myself accountable to why I was elected, and really understanding the dynamics of City Hall and how things get done. And pretty humbling, but I'm enjoying it.
Before we jump headfirst into those things, for those of us who may not know, what exactly is the role of a city council member?
So the city is the second largest in San Diego County.
That's right.
It's about 50, más o menos 50 square miles.
How many people?
Another one.
Roughly 285,000, but...
Give me a month, we'll get to 300.
No, give me tomorrow. And it could be tomorrow. I mean, you go to households all over the city of Chula Vista, there's multiple households where you have two families living in there.
Sir.
And so I don't think the census is correct. So I would argue we're already over 300,000 people. Roughly, I believe about 1,700 employees. And we oversee everything that is police and fire related, all our city streets, all the infrastructure. Our job is to keep people safe and, have our recreation programs, oversee all our parks. And that's pretty much our role.
An important role as it relates to the dynamic of city government here in Chula Vista. You are District 3. What demographic, what are the lines that you encompass with District 3?
So we're essentially, District 3 is south of Telegraph, which runs into Otay Lakes Road.
Mm-hmm.
When you go east of the 805, it's Otay. So it's basically south of Otay Lakes Road from 805 east. So 805 is pretty much our border to the west of us. And then it goes all the way down to Main Street. And the farthest end of my district is the Winding Walk area that turns into the Olympic Training Center. So Olympic Training Center is in my district.
Heck yeah.
But just beyond it, just north of it, where Mount Hawk Park is, that area is all part of District 1.
Congratulations on the Taste of Eastlake held in your district this past weekend.
That's right. It was sold out. It was a cowboy theme. I did a really corny cowboy hat. Howdy, partners! A little advertisement for the thing. It was really embarrassing. My kids were laughing at me. But it was held at the Olympic Training Center where we do our 4th of July, which was about a month ago on 4th of July. And it was, I'm not going to lie to you, I left within 2 minutes because I didn't realize, they gave us VIP and all that. And we were literally less than a football field away. I would say 50 to 70 yards away from the fireworks. And, if you could smell fireworks, especially if you're downwind, it's, that huevo smell.
Sir, I'm sorry, what? Wait, ¿qué dijo?
I've never smelled those.
Yeah, the smell of fireworks.
For sure.
Huetes.
Hey.
And they were so incredibly loud and had like the ones that whistle. And my kids were just like, this is too much. So
Dad, take us home.
Well, I'll tell you, the worst part is there was probably 1 million mosquitoes in the area.
Yeah.
And everybody got bit up. But we were only there 2 minutes. I feel horrible.
You did your part. You showed up, you showed out, that you dipped out.
But you know what? I was in the VIP area and I felt bad.
That's twice you've dropped that on us, Inzunza.
I should have. Basically, what I'm telling you is I should have been with my community and the residents on the other side of the Olympic Training Center. I didn't know where I was supposed to be. They just like, hey, here's your parking pass. I'm okay. I thought I was going to be with the residents. I show up, it's just VIP.
People often ask, what are the districts? What are the demographics? How does it break down? Let me give it to you in layman's terms, Splurge.
Let's hear it.
District 2, where I live, where one of my businesses is, two of them actually, we are the only district that does not have a Lolitas. Every other district in this fair community has their own Lolitas, bro. District 2, District 4, District 3,
That's right.
and District 1. They
We
all
gotta
have,
talk about that.
Elm Street, Sunbow, and
Eastlake.
the business district.
Yeah, we don't have one. We have
Who's
Don
responsible
Pedro's.
for that?
So I would say the Farfan family. I would put it on the Farfan family.
You know, they're my neighbors.
Are they?
Yeah, Dolores Jackson.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
she lives on the other side of the street of me. I see her husband every day.
The boss?
I'm walking my dog.
She's the boss.
Oh yeah,
She's
and
the
their
boss.
offices are right next to the LA Fitness, right off Otay Lakes Road, and that's
The
where their
boss.
business offices. But yeah,
Thank you to your city government breakdown and everything you do with the funds that were allocated to us by way of the CV Arts Department. We were able to create a 3-part docuseries highlighting 3 people in the community who we felt were pillars of the community at that time. We had Mary Salas Casillas. We had Daryl Roberts as the battalion chief and fire captain. And we also had Jorge Farfan, who is the owner-operator of the L Street Lolita. So big ups to city government and the city of Chula Vista for helping us with that and everything you do. What else does the city do as it relates to giving back to the community in that way?
well, I think there's a multitude of different things that they do. Is we have our annual festivals. Of course, we have the Lemon Festival.
Big
we
ups.
were the lemon capital of the world.
August
at the time.
6th.
Yep. And then we had the Starlight Parade, which came back after COVID, and the mayor made big efforts to make it much bigger and more grandiose. We have the East Lake Taste of East Lake. Variety of those type of community events are happening all over. We really get behind and sponsor and support the Grito de Dolores on September 16th, which is down at Memorial Bowl, right here off of 3rd Avenue. Then we have I think it's in District 2 off of 3rd Avenue, the food truck bit. I think is that on Wednesdays, I believe. And then we do the one at Otay Ranch.
Otay Ranch is the only one
in my district. That's another big food festival. So the city's constantly supporting, sponsoring, getting involved. The Earth Day festivities that we have off of East J Street where Gaylord is. But there's constant events. I would say every month, every 6 weeks, there's always something that the city's behind.
How long you been in this position now?
I was sworn in mid-December, so it's been about 8 months.
How's everything been?
It's fun. It has its challenges, and there's I'm learning the dynamics of the city, of different departments and
how
staff.
to navigate.
Yeah, but I think I could tell you this is politics is not a spectator sport, and I'm not referring to my colleagues, but just in general in San Diego County, other colleagues I have who are mayors and city council members. There's a lot of people that play it safe. They sit on the sidelines and they try not to do too much because they don't want negative attention, or it's a risk to put yourself out there. But I don't run away. I don't run away from fights. I run towards them. I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. And I've been able, with that sort of energy, I've been able to really push things forward that haven't been done in the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And I started doing them right away.
And we'll touch on that right now. Splurjo. The only reason I know what goes on city council member meetings is because multiple people take video documentation of what happens in these meetings. Some of these meetings are wild, BJ.
I've heard.
There's arguing, there's banter back and forth, bickering, well, this and that.
Got that in my own house. I don't
And
know.
then they bring in the city attorney, and then the mayor gets dragged. Everyone's
Is
kind
the
of
public welcomed? in that?
always, bro. It's
okay.
encouraged. Not only is it welcome, it's almost like get down here.
Yeah.
The people in
Bring
city
some
council
Lolitas.
member meetings, they're fighting for you. They're fighting for their causes that they were assigned to this position for. So you see, because policies and things that are currently happening, topics of contention most often than not. ICE seems to be a situation that everyone is talking about.
Not everybody.
What's that?
Not everybody.
Go ahead.
Some people refuse to talk about those things. Like I'm telling you, some people play it safe. I don't think there's been a council meeting in the last month or two where I haven't spoken about it. I always, in my council comments, always discuss and remind the city of it. As a matter of fact, is 2 weeks after Trump was inaugurated on January 26th, I asked our police chief, and she was absolutely willing to do it. I said, can we put out a statement on behalf of the city of Chula Vista that our police officers do not cooperate with ICE, that our police officers and our firefighters do not cooperate with ICE? What does that mean? It means this. If there's a woman that's being domestically abused, who happens to be an undocumented worker, an emigrante, or if there's an older gentleman who's experiencing cardiac arrest, that woman and that elderly man should not be scared to call 911 for police help or firefighter support in an emergency or dire situation because they're undocumented. Those are human rights that woman is experiencing. She might be abused. The elder man might be fighting for his life. And so I made sure that our police chief put out that statement that we do not question the documented status of any person, any resident, not citizen, resident, living in the city of Chula Vista. And our police chief, Kennedy, who's amazing, also put out a statement as the president of the 18 cities in San Diego County. She put out a statement saying that this is the position of police chiefs countywide. And I've spoken up consistently that our city will not behave that way, that our city won't go after people who are undocumented. Now, comes with a caveat. And here's the caveat. You guys remember what the County Board of Supervisors did, calling San Diego County a sanctuary city.
Yeah.
And I'm very open. I tell everyone exactly how I feel. Here's the truth. The emigrante, the ones that were arrested at Buena Forqueta in South Park, homeboy's a dishwasher. If you're going after undocumented workers who are dishwashers, who take care of our children, who are, clean our laundry, who are working in hotels, that's absolutely wrong. You shouldn't be going after people who want the same American dreams that probably half the people in this room whose parents immigrated from Mexico. Or
Not you, BJ.
Came from another part
Sorry,
of the country.
Poland isn't close enough.
If your only crime is being undocumented, you're violating people's human and civil rights. Now, if you're in a county prison and you're arrested for pedophilia, or you got caught selling
Fentanyl.
Meth or fentanyl to my kids and your kids, ¿sabes qué, cabrón?
Get the boot.
Pa' fuera.
Bro, and I feel like that's the common sense mentality to approach.
It's not. There's a lot of extreme Democrats as well, just like there's extreme Republicans, extreme Democrats that don't agree with that. And I'm one of the few that's very open about that. If you want to become an American citizen, absolutely. You want to learn the English language, you want your kids, same American dream.
You guys got to make me vote.
Go ahead.
I mean,
I've never voted in my whole life.
that's what it's about.
I'm about to vote.
You have to be practical. You have to be reasonable.
Yeah.
But you can't be chicken about it. You have to
Common sense is gone.
Yeah.
Was thrown away with the baby was thrown away with the bathwater, as they say, bro. I feel like common sense
I've been
has
saying
been.
those things out loud, and I'm not afraid to say it.
And let's be real, we as a country, people who voted for this administration were sold on the idea that criminals
Only.
were the primary target.
That's right.
We found out very quickly that that was not the case. And I feel that is what's causing a sudden shift in people's adherence to the current administration, following, support, all of the things. Rightfully so. As Americans, we vote for something and we expect something, whether you're on the blue or on the red or undecided. I'm voting for this person because this candidate said they're going to do this. And then they're not. And now I see a lot of people on the right side are like, hey, well, I didn't fucking vote for this.
Voter regret.
Yeah. And it's happening a lot to them right
Yes,
now.
sir.
I just sit back and be like, he told you guys what he was going to fucking run on. And now you guys are still to each their own.
That's right.
I
To
feel
each
like
their
most
own.
people are moderates,
Yeah, I would argue in the demographics in the South Bay is, and you might have read the same reports I read, Steve, is there's some shift.
Yes, sir.
Cedro, Chula Vista, there's a shift where the South Bay is not liberal at all. Moderately conservative.
It's purple.
I mean, it absolutely is.
I
I mean,
feel
you
it's
have a lot
purple.
of Mexican American and Filipino families who are Democrats for the most part, but they're pro-life, or they might be pro-Navy. I mean, there's a variety of different backgrounds, and people think that we're homogeneous voters, and we're not. Even among raza, Mexican Americans, we're all over the spectrum.
Yeah.
Business-wise, they're liberal. I mean, they're educated, non-educated, and working class. There's people with a lot of money in East Chula Vista. There's people who are barely getting by. We're very heterogeneous voters, and people don't acknowledge that.
I feel that as the older I've gotten, and I've noticed that the common trend in our communities are fiscally conservative and they're very liberal when it comes to social acts, social agendas. I feel like there is a healthy balance there, bro. And that's where we should live.
I like it.
Let's backtrack to what you said about undocumented residents and their hesitance to reach out to services provided by the city. That's a very important tidbit that you dropped on there. Because I don't know if a lot of people are privy, know exactly what that means. People probably, as soon as all this bullshit came out with ICE and having the National Guard come in and putting the military, the Marines in certain areas, nobody that is an undocumented resident wants to reach out and call and ask for help or anything as it relates to that. But now it's like, you have to. The city does not, adhere to the same policies that the federal government does. We're here to tell you that if you have an emergency, we're here to help you.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about that. There is no ramifications. I feel a lot of people probably are very hesitant.
And I haven't been shy about that. And you probably saw it on my Facebook or Instagram posts. I post the specific things I say about ICE on my Instagram and Facebook. I want the community to see it. The biggest protest in the South Bay when that big ICE demonstration happened all over the country, the biggest protest in the South Bay was in my district. There was 3,000 residents in my district, and I was going up and down the street with a bullhorn, telling them who I am and reminding them that our police officers are not our enemy, that our police officers are there to protect us. Matter of fact, when police officers passed by and all the neighbors would wave at them, I said, Chula Vista police officers are different. They're good people. A lot of them live here.
Yeah.
Their families go to East Lake Church. They play Little League here. And I want to reassure them that as long as I'm a policymaker for the city of Chula Vista, this is how our police chief and this is how our officers are going to behave. They got to be loving, cariñoso, take care of our community, and understand that public safety is first. We're not out there to play good cop and bad cop and go after people. It's not what we do.
I mean, there's bad apples in every batch,
Sure.
but still, I feel that it is very important when law live in the community that they represent, police officers and whatnot, live in the community, because I feel there's a certain loyalty and connection to the community that they represent. It means a little bit more. It goes a little bit deeper. It's not just like a superficial, like, no, you're breaking this law. I feel there's a little bit more leeway. It's like, hey, your plates are fucking, the registration is overdue. Just handle that. I feel like people, I've been pulled over and I've gotten, they've given me a little bit of, hey, take care of this, take care of that. Whereas I know in other communities, that's not the case, bro.
100%.
It's a big opportunity and success when our law enforcement, CVPD, lives in the community that they represent and protect and serve.
You have guys like Daryl Roberts you had on the show last week. He lives right across the street from City Hall. He went to Chula Vista High School. I know about probably 24 police officers that grew up here, went to Hilltop, Castle, Chula,
Big ups,
Bonita.
Lieutenant
Hilltop.
Hoyos.
And Bonita is part of the South Bay. Remember we discussed
That's
that about a
right,
year
bro.
ago.
Whatever
either
you
way-
say, Barry.
Yeah,
I'm
you live
telling
down
you.
here, you work down here, you behave different. And I truly believe in that.
There is a love of our community down here. Splurge, you are a tattoo artist. What other community has the city that they live in as a tattoo on their body? I feel like Chula Vista represents that on a whole different level.
Oh yeah, the little sun with the hills.
That's right.
Everybody gets that tattooed. I'm born and raised City Heights. I lived in Chula Vista for a while, but I don't see any City Heights tattoos.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
There's a sense of pride. There's a sense of representation when you live here in Chula Vista, when you live here in the South Bay. When people say, where are you from? Oh, I live in Chula Vista, National City, Imperial Beach, Barrio Logan, San Isidro, whatever, Paradise Hills.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, South Bay.
Maybe OB is second.
También the
Yeah,
Obetions.
something about the OB.
They're wild, bro.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
wild.
most of that, though, the Chula Vista tattoo really stems from the 80s and 90s generation of skaters and straight edgers.
Which one were you? Which one were you?
Skater for sure.
A ver,
But I
show me your
wasn't-
tattoo.
Huh?
Don't talk about it. Be about it. Do you have that Chula Vista tattoo?
I absolutely do on my right arm.
Let me see your right arm, fool. Let me see that right arm. All right, then. All right, a little bit of, let's say,
Wow, that's the real
dog.
deal. Yeah,
You've been- hey,
Sorry.
you've been working out.
You're not
huh?
supposed to be bring guns to the gun show, right?
But here you are. Two-way.
So it comes from two dynamics. One is, the river bottom off Main Street,
That's
the
right.
Orange Avenue ditch.
Yep.
We're all skaters. There's the Power Peralta days. And also comes from the straight edge scene. Our community hosts House of Suffering, Amenity, one of the biggest national straight edge bands. Most of these kids are Castle, Hilltop kids that grew up in West Chula Vista where I grew up, Loma Verde area, Orange Avenue, Melrose. But it stems from that. It stems from music and the skater generation. You don't see dudes I probably would argue you don't see dudes in their late 60s with the Chula Vista tattoo.
Agreed.
It's really dudes between, well, there's probably a lot of youngsters.
I think 50 and under.
Yep.
I think 50 and under seems to be the demographic of people who represent their city like that. And I feel like that mentality for you specifically is kind of where your mind and head is at now in the city government position. You seem to be going against the grain, and because we were talking about this earlier on the weekly show, BJ, about the punk mentality. What is it? Is it music? Is it style? No, it's a state of mind. It's how you operate. It's how you think. And I feel like you bring that mentality into the city council.
Yeah, I think I didn't run for office just to press the green button and go along with everyone else. I ran for city council for a variety of reasons. I mean, don't forget, before I was elected, there was a lot of instability in the city council. We had a council member that was involved with a serious scandal, and there was 2 council members that had only been in office for about half a year to a year at the time. And then because of some of those issues, we had appointed 2 council members. One council member was appointed to fill the one that was going through the issue that had to leave office, and the other one replaced Senator Steve Padilla. So there was 2 council members that were there no more than a year, and 2 other council members appointed, and a new mayor. So a lot of the people in the community, the Senator Steve Padillas, the Congressman Juan Vargas's, they urged me because I brought stability. I brought a balance. I brought the need to understand the city. I've been a commissioner for years in the city of Chula Vista in the county of San Diego. And they saw me as the kid that was born in the city. I was born here. I married a Castle Park girl. My kids go to public schools here. I've been an educator most of my career. I think they saw that not only did I fit the profile, but really my heart, my cariño, my love for the city. And everything that I discussed with my residents, I'm already doing it. I'm already pushing for about 2 or 3 things that I told them I would do.
Which were?
Number one is we are the 2nd largest city in the county, right?
That's right.
San Diego's number 1. They have 9 police stations in the city of San Diego. If you drive from our police station on F and 4th to Winding Walk or the Olympic Training Center or my neighborhood Outta Ranch, it'll take you at least 25 minutes. You're going to go through maybe solid 32 stoplights. Even if you're going around through the 805, the 54, and the 125, if there's traffic, same distance. Now, people ask, or people are sort of making the argument. They're saying, well, is it too soon? We need more boots on the ground. Like, okay, well, do you think we'll need a police station in 15 years? They'll say, oh, absolutely. I said, what about 10 years? They go, yeah. So what about 5 years? They go, well, maybe. I said, well, 5 years is just around the corner. By the time you begin a feasibility study, you start looking for the right location and get more boots on the ground, it'll take 2 to 3 years just to break ground. So what I did is, I looked at the East Chula Vista, and East Chula Vista's existed since about 1988, 89, the original little East Lake, the little laguito over there. Yep. And that was 40 years ago. So what I did...
That's crazy when you say it like that.
It is. I mean, as soon as I got into office...
Slow down, brother!
And I don't slow down. That's my issue. And so what I did with my first month is I asked the council to pass a feasibility study, a consensus, to pass a feasibility study of, can we at least look into this? 4 or 5 months later, when we're doing our general budget, I got it budgeted. What does that mean? They're putting $300,000 into do a serious study of where we can put one, what location, what the demographics look like, how fast crime is increasing, police response calls are increasing. So there's an absolute need. Number one, so I got that passed. So feasibility study, it's funded for a new police station, which could take 2 to 3 years. Number 2, and this one breaks my heart, is I think you guys know that an 8-year-old was killed on an electric scooter 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And it was 4 days after I passed the first reading of an ordinance. Now, make it clear with the biking community. I know all of us are all bikers and everything. I ride motorcycles as well. We're not trying to prevent responsible adults and responsible teenagers from riding their e-bike 10 to 15 miles an hour on a sidewalk to go to East Lake, Otta, East Lake, any part of the city. What we're doing is we're preventing those kids that we all see popping wheelies, going in between lanes, going 40 miles an hour on those, they're basically motorcycles. I don't care I don't care if they're powered by carburetors, by gas, or by electricity. If an 8-year-old is able to drive down the street with next to a car that weighs 3,000 pounds and he's 6, 8, 9, 10 years old, I think it's absurd. And so basically, an assembly member in San Diego passed a bill called Assembly Bill 2234. Her name is Berna Horvath. And they use San Diego County basically as a platform statewide. And so a lot of cities didn't adopt her bill. They just basically said, no passengers, be careful, yield to traffic. I adopted the part of the bill that prevents children from under 12 years old from riding any electric mobility scooter.
It makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense. So we're probably, what we just passed, the ordinance, is probably the most strict e-bike ordinance, not in the county, but the entire state of California. And there have been 450,000 emergency room hospitalizations in the United States in the last 3 years.
What a horrible situation on the cusp of you passing that. I remember you
Broke my
were,
heart.
yeah, you were out there, man. You were on KUSI, you were on the news, you were advocating, you were pushing, you were making it happen. Literally days after all that, the unfortunate death of a child,
sir.
bro. That's bananas. That's crazy.
It broke my heart.
Yes.
So that's gonna be pushing forward. But what I did and what I really want to stress is things like this take 7 or 8 months. I initiated this in January, my 3rd meeting. And it took 7, 8 months to get initiated. And I did it with the timing that school districts went back to school last Wednesday. So I had the entire Sweetwater School Board, the entire Chula Vista School Board, the whole districts. They're doing a 90-day education campaign. Our job isn't to go out there and throw tickets at people. Our job is, mijo, you can't have a passenger in the back.
Education.
You have to wear a helmet. When if you're riding your e-bike to school, you can ride it. Just slow down, yield to your buddies, your pedestrians, and no, you can't split lanes going 30 miles an hour between trucks and 3,000-pound cars.
Yeah.
You can't do that, mijo. We're trying to keep you safe. So we're doing that for 90 days before we give out any tickets.
What are you attributing this quick turnaround to on your part as a city council member? How are you doing things faster than what the status quo was prior?
I can't answer that. I mean, I could tell you that 95% that comes before the city council is presented by the city manager's office. And if you have a really strong city manager's office in any city in the United States, that means they're very productive. They understand development. They understand the infrastructure, where money should be budgeted. 95% of what goes before the council doesn't come from the mayor and the city council. Very little comes from the mayor and the city council. So after studying to see how things operate, the dynamics, the relationships between departments and staff, I just started figuring out what I need to do and what I need not to do. So the things I'm doing, and I think you remember when I got sworn in, the things aren't particular to my district. And what I said in my inauguration speech is I'm not running to be a city councilman just in my city. I'm running to represent in my district, but the entire city.
Correct.
The third thing I'm doing is something I'm working on really hard. Do you guys remember what happened? Those wildfires in Outta Ranch. They were scary.
Yes,
and
sir.
that was just 1 month after the devastating LA fires. Thousands of people were displaced. People were really scared in the city of Chula Vista.
That was the closest it's gone to us since the late 2006?
2013, 2007.
Perdón.
There was
Yeah, that's
two
the
really
one.
ugly ones, right?
We got evacuated in 2007.
Well, my wife we're pregnant with our first kid. And I spent 3 days straight. I think I maybe slept 6 hours in those 3 days at Mountain Hawk Park. And the only thing I was doing was de-escalating. I was speaking to the media in English and in Spanish.
And Tagalog, because that's how you get down.
No, I wish I could. I wish I could.
Merry Christmas.
But I was de-escalating because a lot of people were thinking we're evacuating. I said, no, this is an evacuation warning only. So there's all kinds of things going on in social media. And I was trying to figure out, how's our communication getting out there? So what have I done in the last 5 months since that happened? Met with police and fire and city staff. And I said, why don't we have our own Amber Alert reverse 911 system? When those 3 days were happening, if every 2 to 3 hours, if we had a reverse 911 call, like you get on your phone when something's going on, it automatically buzzes you. 919 with 31415 zip codes. Chula Vista residents, this is an evacuation warning only. Be careful. We'll give you information on top of the hour, yada, yada, yada.
Information is important, brother.
So that's something I'm trying to create, but you have to deal with the county of San Diego, with Cal fires that kind of supersede our emergency status. But those are the things I'm asking, that nobody has, I guess, has thought of.
That's an awesome approach to handling these kinds of messages being conveyed to the community. Because currently, the best way that I feel the majority of us get information is through the Ring app in the neighborhood app.
90% of it's absolutely wrong.
And there's a lot of doñas on there and tias chismosas just kind of like giving unnecessary information. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on?
Oh, but it's so good.
It is. It's juicy. If only we can, kind of dilute and get through all of that, trim the fat, and just get the legitimate, important information, tidbits as it relates to our community. You said 913-1415. I'm more of a 91910, 91911, West Side shit, So I want to make sure that we're getting our due information given to us at an appropriate time as well. Because, bro, there are ghetto birds in the sky every day.
Constantly.
Every day I'm hearing somebody like announce something through their megaphone. And awesome, good. And not awesome that things are happening, but awesome, good that we at least have that. But it's like, what are they saying? Who do we call? What's going on? How do I get this information?
Like, if we just told cheese man on WhatsApp.
Yeah, it's like if I have a city governed app or just sort of information meeting place where I can get all of this, that would be top tier.
Here's the reality, and that was brought up by staff. They go, well, we have our website, we have our app, our Facebook. I go, look, there's 300,000 people or more. Nobody has the app ready to go on their phone. Nobody has the Fire app. Some people do. But in general, you need to force that information, just like an Amber Alert. If there's a dire need, if there's a fire, we got lucky. The winds were blowing southeast away from us on the second day. The first day was very scary. That first Thursday night, people were panicking. So all I was doing was de-escalating the media after media after media. And
hey, I saw you, man. You became a fucking star.
No, and it really wasn't.
Star on the news over there, bro.
It was only I think it was January 3rd or 4th. It was my third week in the office. And I looked around and said, how are we getting this message out? And I took that upon myself. I said, I need to take responsibility. People are looking at our elected body to show leadership. And I just said, this is my job. And I got a lot of kudos, a lot of love. People were really gracious. And so I just figure I need to do things that affect the city, citywide, not just my district.
That's the second time you've brought that up. Earlier you said, I was voted not only to represent my district, but I'm here to represent the city. What are your intentions? What are your goals? You're 8 months into your tenure as District 3 City Council member. What is in the future for you? Is a shot at mayor something that you are in your crosshairs? Is this something that you would like to put down on paper? When is the next election, I guess, is the best question.
The next election is there's a primary in 2026. It's coming up in less than a year, and that's for Mayor John McCann and Council Members Preciado and Council Member Carolina Chavez. So they're up the primaries in June, and then the gubernatorial, their general election is November of 2026. That's the next election.
What was your biggest inspiration? Seems like you have to have a certain amount of optimism to get involved in politics, hoping that you can make some change. What was your biggest inspiration before you got involved in politics?
My dad and my mom. So I think about a year ago, we discussed that my father was from the very first class of the United States Peace Corps. First Chicano. First non-white in the United States Peace Corps, 1965. Spent 3 years in Antofagasta, Chile. Came back during the Chicano movement, during the Vietnam protest era. My mom was an immigrant from Tijuana. They both ran for San Isidro School Board because they weren't offering bilingual education. It didn't exist. And so my father ends up running for city council, some of my tios, some of my brothers. So I really grew up with this. This has just been part of who I am since I was a toddler.
Yeah.
And it's just always been ingrained in me that you have to get involved. I worked for different elected officials, worked for about 40 different campaigns. And I really tried to avoid this. I'll be honest with you. I've been trying to avoid this. I'll be 53 next month. And I'm only 6 months into my first term in office. And I really didn't want this for myself. I felt my job was to be behind the scenes and supporting the right civic-minded leaders to do well. And I just got, I don't want to say pushed into it, but I was encouraged because of my background, my education, my loyalty to the city. And it kind of put me where I am.
I'm not going to let you off the hook. I'm going to go back to what I asked you. 6 to 8 months into your tenure currently, with primaries coming up, what is your ultimate goal? Like, what is it that you want to do? Do you see being the next mayor of Chula Vista as your next goal? Is that in your crosshairs?
I would absolutely consider being mayor of Chula Vista.
Do you want to
without a
be
doubt.
the next mayor of Chula Vista?
Yeah, I think I could be the next mayor of Chula Vista. I think I could be a state senator, a state assembly member, a county supervisor, potentially a member of Congress. But politics changes every 3 months, I'd argue. If I told you guys a year and a half ago that our two most popular elected officials in the county board of supervisors, Nora Vargas and Nathan Fletcher, would be gone, if I told you that a year and a half ago, nobody would believe me. And if I told you that Paloma Aguirre would be our county supervisor a year and a half ago, nobody would believe me. Coming from a town where she was elected with 2,600 votes, a town of maybe 25,000 people,
Crazy.
nobody would believe me. So
Bananas.
it's crazy. So basically what I'm telling you is politics and the dynamics of politics changes so fast that you really can't rule in or rule out anything. But to answer your question directly, to make it official, because I've been asked several times.
Have you really?
I've been asked a lot.
Why do you think you've been asked several times before you get to the direct answer to my question?
Okay, so I think I've been asked several times. The Democratic Party, Republican Party, labor unions, builders, police, fire, they're all play the numbers game. They look at who's electable, who has a high profile, high name ID, and voter turnout. My first race, I basically got 70% of the vote, which is unheard of. I achieved the most votes, 19,000 votes. No council member of the city of Chula Vista has ever received that amount of votes in a district election. Nobody. And then if you line up, I think Vivian Moreno in the city of San Diego ran for county supervisor. She was elected with 11,000 votes. Paloma Aguirre was maybe elected with 2,600 votes. Carolina Chavez was elected with 10,000 votes. So all the numbers people start contacting me and they said, he got 19,000 votes against a formidable candidate that was endorsed by a lot of high-profile elected officials that ran a money with campaign, and he was still able to obtain 70% of the vote, 19,000 votes.
How'd you get so many people to go out there and vote? What's the the population as it relates to other districts within our city?
There's no secret.
Huh?
There's no secret. I spoke to 30,000 people in 12,000 households.
Walk the streets.
Yeah.
Knock on doors.
There's nobody that has walked as much as I have in my career. I've walked probably 500,000 doors since I was 15 years old. I know how to do it, and it's not a gimmick.
Strongest calves in city council, some people would say.
You just listen to people, essentially. But I think the numbers people saw what I was doing, and when Nora Vargas pulled out of office, I think it was December 21st, and it was just a week after I was sworn in, everyone got phone calls. Everyone's playing musical chairs, and I got a phone call, and I said, no, right off the bat. No, I'm not running for a county supervisor, not interested. And then it started coming to the mayor's race of Chula Vista. And I have no plan. I have no plan to challenge the mayor of Chula Vista in 2026. I have no plan to do it. I promised my voters, I think we're talking about early about stability for the city. Just 2 years ago, we had 2 new council members and 2 appointed council members with a new mayor. I promised my constituents, I promised everyone in my community that I would serve at least 1 full term. That's my promise. Serve 1 full term. I want to work on bringing a police station, the e-bike ordinance, the reverse 911. I have a lot of things I'm pushing for. I don't want to not waste my time, but I want to keep busy campaigning for the next year because that's what it would require. But I have no reason to challenge the mayor. I think the mayor is very pragmatic. I know that he loves the city as much as I do. Sometimes we have a different approach, but he's a good person.
Sometimes.
Yeah, he's a good person, and his heart's in the right place, I believe. And we have a very different approach to politics, but it's not my job to challenge him just for ego. I really don't base my politics on ego. But when he's done, which I believe would be in 2030, I would be halfway through my 2nd term, which people call a free shot. I would absolutely consider running for mayor. I probably would, but you never know. What if Senator C. Padilla moves on to something else, David Alvarez, and all of a sudden Supervisor Aguirre goes for state assembly. She leaves her seat. That seat becomes open, then becomes a whole fight in the South Bay. And who's going to go for that seat? So I can't tell you definitively what I'm going to do, but I'm absolutely considering running for mayor in 2030 when the mayor's done. I'm not going to challenge him.
Not in 2026?
I'm not.
Interesting.
Nope. I promised my constituents, if I was an egomaniac, if I could, if I really wanted to push, I know I could fundraise like hell and do well. I know I'd get the right support, but you can't run just on the basis of beating people. You have to run on the basis of doing things right. And right now the city needs stability, and that's what I provide.
The trajectory that you're on, for me, that is not a member of District 3 in Chula Vista, would lead me to think that that is what you were going for 2026.
Really?
Yeah, just by watching you from the outside, it's like, oh, my guy over here, he's out to get it.
And
He's getting after it. Like, I feel like that was maybe not the initial goal, but the way things, like you said, politics just, it shifts on a dime from month to month. I was like, oh, and Inzunza wants to be mayor.
And that's exactly why so many people have asked me and are questioning it. And even if I'm saying it right now on the Emo Brown show, I don't think people are going to believe me. But the reality is that's just the way. Yeah, I think you've grown to appreciate and understand my energy level.
Yeah.
And it feels, what you're saying is it feels like I'm campaigning. But I'm always going to be this way.
Doing the right thing.
Month after month after month, like, it's the pinche necio. Like, he's just at it going.
Bro, this is a family trait. I got an opportunity to sit down with one of your brothers at a city Chamber of Commerce meeting at the Gaylord Properties, the new institute here on the marina. And I sat with one of your brothers. You guys are on the same level as it relates to the way you communicate and the energy you guys held. I had zero clue he was your brother until he kept talking. And then he says, yeah, Mr. Inzunza. I was like, este way. I was like, no wonder, bro. I connected those two dots. And as soon as I found out who he was, like, oh, yeah. I said, yeah, your brother's been on the podcast. We got to chop it up a couple times with him.
He was mayor of National City.
Yeah.
He's city councilman, mayor of National City. Sir. He represented SCIU, labor. He worked on labor council, worked for Service Employees International Union. He's did a congressional fellowship in D.C. I mean,
this is your destiny.
I don't know. I mean, here's the tough part: is people know my family, the Inzunza family, as elected officials, but we're really a family of educators.
That's what I was going to say.
We're educators.
I know you guys as a family of educators.
We're educators.
But then I did a little deep dive. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Business owners. They ran for office, mayor. Your dad, activist. I was like, your mom. I was like, oh, this guy's got the lineage.
We're educators.
Yeah, it's got the lineage, though.
So, I think I try to take it with grace, but that is a challenge. And as you watch the council meetings, everyone's, lack of a better term, groupies in the audience, they're always going after me. They're not going to the rest of my council colleagues. They're going after me because inadvertently, and I'm not trying to, inadvertently, they see me as a threat. And I keep reminding people, I said, I'm not running for office. And people that have known me for years know, no, that's how Mikey is. Mikey's a go-getter. He doesn't sit on the sidelines. If he's passionate about something, he's going to address it, and he is. The
squeaky wheel gets the grease. And it seems at these meetings, because I watch these I'm a nerd, bro. Like, I'll watch them on TikTok. I know there's an option to watch them on the actual city Chula Vista website. I'll sit down and I'll watch them. And I like watching them the day after when you can just kind of jump around and see, all right, what happened here? What happened there? What happened there? I'm like, oh, man. Yeah, what is the dynamic? Because what I see from...
Tell me what you see.
I see a lot of bickering. I see a lot of difference of opinions. I see a lot of people who are going in different directions as it relates to the future of our city. I see people who don't necessarily want to work together, but are forced to work together and attain the common goal. That's what I see.
Yeah, and this is what people don't understand either. Our city council has 4 Democrats and 1 Republican, our mayor, of course. But it doesn't mean we're all on the same platform.
Agreed. I can see that.
Not even close. I mean, we have different dynamics. We have different districts. We have different approach. Some of us are more business oriented. Some are more grassroots. Some are more public safety. We have different priorities and different approach. And our goal should all be to respect each other's approach and support each other in each other's district to get things done, to be the most effective policymaker in their district. That's my approach. But I can tell you this, and if you notice this, I don't pick fights. I'll end fights. I don't pick fights.
El vato, take it easy.
And I'm not one. I'm not one to allow myself to get trashed for any dumb reason.
Yeah.
But most of what you see, agree with if you want, is political pettiness.
Yeah.
It's not policy.
It's a game.
But here's the funny thing. Believe it or not, the mayor is extremely pragmatic. And he and I vote together just as much or probably more than my other colleagues. When it comes to public safety issues, we're on the same page. I'm a big public safety guy. When it comes to the details of how this is done, who gets credit, who brought it up first, that's political pettiness. And those are the things I try to remove myself from. Don't forget, the mayor's the chair. He runs the meetings. So he has
The boss.
He has a certain amount of autonomy where he can stop people from speaking, including his council colleagues. And so if you notice, I back off.
I've noticed.
I back off and I just let it happen. But I think everyone in the room knows what I'm doing, what I'm about to do. At the end of the day, I walk out.
He's adjourned you a couple of times.
He has.
I've seen it.
Absolutely.
They go move over to the city attorney and the city big ups Marcos. And he's like, and he's like, no, we are adjourning now. I'm like, este güey no quiere que diga nada.
And it doesn't bother me one bit. I go back, my staff is in our office. I go, high five. I go, look, we got this passed tonight, and this was a win.
You respect the position.
Yeah, I respect the position, but in those 2 to 3 hour meetings, my goal isn't going to win. Who's going to win the bickering argument? My goal is, am I going to get this ordinance or policy passed?
Let's get shit done.
Let's get stuff done. That's what I do.
Say shit. You have a Chula Vista tattoo.
Let's get shit done.
But
that's kind of my approach. But I'm not a 35-year-old, career politician. I've been married for 20 years. The same Castle Park girl. I got 2 teenagers. That stuff don't bother me. None of that bothers me. What bothers me is an 8-year-old being killed on an electric scooter. That if I had pushed this further 3 months back or before, could have prevented it. It could have educated mom or dad that the little one can't be riding on the e-scooter anymore. Those are the things that keep me up at night. Not 2 or 3 people trashing me on a microphone for 3 minutes. None of that bothers me.
That shows you came on the show.
There it is. Nothing bothers him. Nah, we're big. We're big. As a Chula Vista resident, I'm a big fan of the people who are in city council right now. I wholeheartedly believe in the people who are representing our city for the most part. I'm a, Cesar Fernandez, District 4.
Great
fan,
dude.
Big fan, friend of the show, social club member, all of the things. He sets up a cleanup events. We go and we support and we're out there doing it,
And that's his thing. I mean, I was telling you that we have different dynamics. Councilman Fernandez is a grassroots guy trying to clean up the community, trying to address the homeless issue. He's working on getting, I think it's on Oxford. There's a plot of land there that he's trying to create green space for his residents. I applaud that. I back those things up right away. I love what he's doing. It works for his district, and he's the absolute right council member for that district. And I respect that. I see what he does. As an outsider, I'm like, good for him. He's kicking butt. He's responding to people. He's already had like 2 or 3 community events or town halls.
He hosts little cafecitos with the council member events.
He did those community town halls at Loma Verde where I learned how to swim. So I see that as a
You know how to
West
swim, fool?
No, Loma Verde is where I learned how to swim.
Yeah. Common thought is that Mexicans don't know how to swim.
I know.
I am here to prove that wrong because I, at 4th grade camp, learned how to swim at Loma Verde.
That's where I learned how to swim.
Yeah, all of us did.
So
My kids, they go to swim class
So
there.
when I see him doing that, I went to Royal Elementary. I grew up off Mallow and Orange. That's my area, Maxfield, where I played ball. When I see him doing that for that area, it makes me happy that I ran with somebody who has those same values. He's doing it different than me for sure. We're totally different. Character, personality, approach, but I respect what he does. He's doing a good job.
I take it personal. I've had almost everyone who's in charge of our city here on the podcast. We've had Mr. John McCann when he was running for mayor up against Mary Salas. I had a nice little candid conversation with him. We've had yourself. We've had Cesar Fernandez. We have had Carolina Chavez from District 1. We haven't had Mr. Preciel on there. I've met with him at the Norman
Park?
Senior
Center.
The Senior Center,
Down
like on a one-on-one with a couple of business owners. And that's the conversations I've had with him. And I've had lunch with him and we've, discussed things, but I've never had him on here.
And you know about him, his thing, which I think he's doing a great job, is he just got appointed to the Coastal Commission. He's really big on senior housing and senior rights. He's really has always putting a strong focus on that. Whenever there's new developments going on in his district or in West Chula Vista, he always has a care for senior citizens. That's like one of his things, housing, senior citizens. Like he's really big on those things. And I give him big props for that.
I want to have him on here. We legit had a nice conversation over lunch and he was, talking to me about his role at San Diego State and what it is he wants to do over there. So I'd love to have him on and sit down and kind of like pick his brain a little bit further. So again, I'll reiterate, I'm a big fan of everyone who is at the helm of the city of Chula Vista. I see nothing but awesome things moving forward. Everybody seems to be, generally in pointing in the right direction, on the same boat, paddling in the same direction. But there's little things that you can always nitpick.
We keep
at.
it exciting though, right?
Oh, fuck.
You're not bored when you log on, are you?
It's like Love Island and then the Chula Vista City Council members meeting.
But you
bro.
know what's
It's
funny
like,
is,
geez.
you have the same 3 or 4 people just trash me in every meeting, and they say this about me, they say that about me. But outside of council, outside of my energy level, I'm really boring. I mean, when I was running for office, I had multiple people, like private investigators. They're always trying to find dirt on people, but I don't have any jaywalking tickets.
I got a few. You want some?
No, I've never had any jaywalking tickets. No DUIs. I never caused a car accident. I've never been fired from a job. I've always paid my taxes on time. I wash my hands after I use the restroom. I'm boring.
Yeah.
So
You're not on the Epstein list.
Monday? No,
Monday.
I'm not.
Motherfucker was Spanish.
And I'm not on the
Monday.
Epstein list. But off in my life of riding motorcycles and being a councilman and having this lot of energy, when it comes to my private life, I'm pretty boring.
Good.
And I think people investigating me so much are like, yeah, he lives in the same house with his wife for 20 years, and craziest thing he does, he walks his dog at 6 a.m. His Boston Terrier every morning, and this is who he is. I'm pretty boring. Legally, I'm
funny.
boring.
It's funny you bring that up because like the wife and I were just we have this conversation on the regular. It's like we've been married now for 20 years. I'm 46, and it's like I'm off the streets by 4. My kids have
That's right.
little league, travel ball, after school activities, whatever. After 4 o'clock, I'm a ghost, bro. Like you won't see me, you won't hear from me. So
With
it's
your
like
family.
I
You're a
love
family man.
I love being boring. There is nothing better than being boring. I know it's like, and you always see that meme online. There's a certain there's nothing better than having peace in your home. No one's asking for you. You're not worried about anything, and you're just chilling. I can do that.
But you know what? That's what you represent. In other words, you have the Alwood, you have 3 Punk. Nobody ever sees you there at night.
Not at night.
Yeah,
not anymore.
You're never there. I've seen you at the Alwood once. I think maybe right before I got elected. It was around 7 or 8 p.m. And yes, I did have an old fashioned, and yes, it was wonderful.
The best one.
Cece or Megan, who makes them better?
I remember her name. I forgot her name. Really cool gal.
Very
though.
fucking political answer. Whatever.
But and you guys make the circuit. You don't see me at the Manhattan. Like you just don't see me around.
No, I don't. You're right.
I'm always chill. I pick up my kids from school. I'm home by 4:35. My wife's a really tough educator in the Sweetwater School District in administration, and that's our life. We're home by 4 or 5. I had boring weekend. We went to go see the live action of How to Train Your Dragon. Then we went to Cheesecake Factory.
There you go,
and
brother.
that was our Friday night. That's
Our Friday night. We went to the zoo at night.
There you go.
What is that? What it's called? Nighttime at the
The
zoo.
animals are more active at night. It's
and
the
then
best.
and then we went to Lefty's.
Oh,
Fucking pizza.
in North Park.
And that was it.
In North Park?
That's what we do.
Off 30th?
Bro. Off 30th.
It's the
right next to
best.
the Bluefoot.
I love that.
10 years before, we would probably gone to the Bluefoot, got on
That's
a
right.
sick one, then got some Lefties.
Well, I went
But
to
now-
St. Patrick's down the street. And then don't forget, I was the dean at St. Augustine for 12 years. So I had a lot of Lefty's pizza.
Yeah,
It's the
man.
best.
Hey, man, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out. This is your home, dog. Whenever you want to come on and talk whatever you want to talk and announce, because I'm going to put a little asterisk on your 2026 running for mayor. I believe you, but I have my doubts. And I think you're going to have a change of heart and something's going to happen.
So you think I'm going to run in 2026?
I don't know why.
You're not ruling it out. Is what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
ruling it out, but I have a feeling. I have an inkling. I just learned what that means. An inkling.
You should see your doctor about that.
You know, when you have an inkling, an idea, a thought, something that I can't shake, something.
I think I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, as you should. I just think.
Sergio, it almost sounds like he's encouraging me, right?
Yeah, I mean, you said anything could happen.
Anything
And
can happen.
so
I mean, there's
3
always
months from now, you're not
scandals.
changing
I
it.
don't project anything bad upon our mayor.
No.
You don't
That's-
wish bad
again,
upon anybody.
no.
But if something crazy were to happen, things change. But if things are smooth sailing, which I can't guarantee either, I'm not running, brother.
No,
2030 though.
2030.
he's in.
You know who I believe in?
Oh shit!
That's
Howdy,
the
partners.
one I was talking
This
about.
is Chula Vista City
Howdy,
Councilman
neighbors.
Michael Inzunza inviting you to the Taste of East
that's
Lake.
embarrassing.
Bring your friends and your
That was
family.
promoting. Like a sidekick. That was
smooth,
promoting.
man.
That was promoting the East Lake.
If he's willing to do that, he's willing to do anything for
You
that
don't
city.
have your headphones, so you couldn't hear. We heard everything right there, brother. We
Heel
heard
click,
it
all
all.
of
Howdy, partners.
I love
So
it.
howdy, partners.
Good on you, man. Good on you.
No, I mean, no, I've been making a fool out of myself for years. I really don't care. Like I said, I'll be 53 next month. I'm a sinvergüenza, cabrón.
Good. Hey.
Sinvergüenza.
Shameless plug. August 9th, officially Emo Brown Day in the city of Chula Vista, as it's been proclamated. I invite you to have a drink with us.
Where?
We're gonna go to the Elwood.
Okay.
We're gonna have some old fashions.
Yes.
You know, and we're gonna celebrate.
You know what? I got
Go
a better
ahead.
thing for you.
Go ahead.
Why don't you make it the official old-fashioned competition that you guys keep talking about? Have those gals there,
dog.
and then I'll be one of the judges for the old-fashions.
Just tell me you want a free drink, and I'll take
No,
care
no,
of
I'll
it.
pay
dog.
for it.
Kind of like a Spider-Man Peter Parker situation. You've never seen him in the same room at the same time.
I'll absolutely pay for my own drinks, but I want to see who makes the best old-fashioned.
Done and
That's
done,
good.
bro.
August 9th.
August 9th, Emo Brown, official proclamated day in Chula Vista. We're going to have some city council members out there judging. I'll hit up Cesar Fernandez. You are obviously going to be there. We'll have somebody else. We'll get another celebrity. Maybe we'll get the homie from Living Chula Vista, and then we'll get him out
Kurt
there.
Bunch.
Ese way.
Mario
homie.
Lopez.
Yeah.
Good
Mario
dude, man.
Lopez, I meant Mario Lopez, obviously. We'll have him out there. We'll have a nice little panel of judges, and we'll go ahead and have ourselves a nice little, just to celebrate,
good.
you know? I'm very proud to be a Chula Vista resident. I'm very proud to be a raising my family here in Chula Vista, having businesses here in Chula Vista, and having the support of our city government behind us. You know, we're big advocates for everything that goes on in our city. And I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day and schedule to come down here and just shoot the shit with us, giving us an update.
I love it.
I'd like to tap in with you again before the end of the year and see where your head's at, though.
Let's do a little recap, maybe Thanksgiving
Yeah,
week or
lijo.
something. Not
All right.
calmadito, which is chill.
I'll stuff your
Maybe
turkey,
we'll
homie.
look
No
cafecito
worries.
here.
I got you, bro. We got it.
Appreciate you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, District 3 Council Member Michael Inzunza.